What's up, guys? It's Devin, and welcome to another new Let's Play of PC Building Simulator. I have been playing this, I've been binge playing this a lot recently, and I gotta say, it's like 20 times easier than doing it in real life. With this game, once you get into like the higher levels and stuff, you pretty much have all these different tools and stuff that can do everything for you. Like there's like an auto scroll thing you can get, there's like an auto like standoff thing you can get, and it's just like it's the easiest thing in the world because all you gotta do is click on where you want something to go and it screws in everything for you. And it's so easy. Well, we don't get that luxury today because we are starting a completely fresh new game because I have been getting tired of the same 3D Mark stupid jobs over and over and over and over and over and over again. There comes a point in time, like at least where I've been starting to get around to, where literally every new email and job that you get on your email is just straight up somebody either wants a PC built or they'll send you their PC, but either way they want a certain 3D Mark score and they want certain things overclocked. It's like at that point, well, now I'm not even like, if there's one thing I really hate in this game, okay? If there's really one thing that I hate in this game, it is just the matter of this, I don't know. There's no originality. It's the same job over and over and over again, and a lot of times that comes down to being the 3D Mark stuff. And 3D Marks are hard. Like there's like you have to like sometimes you don't have a huge budget, so you have to like just work in like the confines of like where you of like how much money you have and like what their parts are. And that sucks. I'm gonna go with the original regular PC Building Simulator Office because my other file has been working with, not that one, this one here, for like the longest time. And it's like wicked roomy, which I like, but at the same time, it's like it takes 9 years to get to, to bring computers into the back office and stuff. So I think it's honestly better to say that I'm gonna use the first one because it's a lot more like confined and easier to move around in a quick manner, basically. So without further ado, I've rambled on for almost 4 minutes now. Let's go ahead and get into the thing. I apologize ahead of time about like if I have like any nose issues or like sneezing problems or stuff like that, or if my eyes look like I'm very tired. I'm tired. I just woke up, but a lot of it comes down to allergies. My allergies are very bad today, and it's also like 90 degrees out. I got no fans on, my door's shut for the purposes of recording, so if I get shiny by any chance, then that's why. To begin, go to your PC by the doorway and open the email program on the desktop. You've got mail. Okay, cool. So, I've got mail. Alright, so I get to this first job. It's already automatically accepted because, this is how it teaches you how to play the game. So, hi Tim. I hope you can help me. My computer's been running slower than usual, and I think I might have clicked on something I shouldn't have. Do I have a virus? You definitely have a virus, Gary. You're clicking on things you don't even have any clue what they are, so it's like... and then also, there's also our Uncle Tim introducing us to our shop as well. Hey, thanks for taking over the PC shop for me. Sorry it's not in better state. A few things. The company isn't doing very well. There's no money in the bank account. I can see that. We have negative $15. What a great way to start. The rent and energy bills come out monthly, so make sure you have enough money for them. I had a job on the go which should help with the rent. See the email below. Remember to use your thermal paste when putting in a CPU. I almost forget. The PCs overheat. So I think you're up. You're all set. It's your company now, so run it how you see fit. I hope you do better than I did. Well, so from my file, I've learned that Tim is a very untrustworthy uncle when it comes to putting computers together, because every single flippin' time, Uncle Tim never seems to put thermal paste in his computers. It's like, and then he wants to tell me, don't forget your thermal paste. It's like, take your own advice. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our computer here. This is our computer that is potentially riddled with viruses. So we need to run a virus scan on it. This is actually really this is cool. This is the same case as the one down here. This is our this is our Antec, I think it is, right? No, it's a Silverstone. It's a PS14 with the window edition, and I like it. It's a nice case. It's the cheapest one on the market, actually. So when people ask me to build them new rigs, this is the case I usually go with because it's a nice case. It's 40 bucks. You know, you're saving a lot of money that way, budget-wise. So, okay. First things first. I don't think we're gonna have to open this thing up at all because all that really needs to be done is a virus scan. So we're gonna go ahead and plug in all our cables, which I'm not used to doing because, again, in my other file, I have everything. I have like the auto cable, so I put the PC down and it plugs everything automatically. Now you need to put in your USB drive into the back of the PC so you can install the virus scanner. Press 1 or the install button to go to your inventory and select the USB drive. Okay. All right. So we hit 1, and our USB drive is gonna be right here. So we're gonna click that. And we're going to install it into the back of our computer. Now, we have to press the P button to power the PC on, or we can just hit the power button right here. And this is going to turn the computer on. It's going to load it into this Mr's, OS. And this is the operating system, which is actually pretty basic. Surprisingly, for being, riddled with viruses, there's not a whole lot on the desktop. But we need to run a virus scanner, and to do that, we have a virus scanner on our USB drive. So we go to this button here that says Add or Remove Programs. You hit the virus scanner because you're adding the virus scanner program that you have pre-installed to your USB drive, and this is going to install the scanner that we're going to use to make sure his computer is cleaned. It is going to have us restart afterwards. So we're going to go ahead and restart the computer so that everything takes into effect. It appears on our desktop, and we can have some fun getting rid of these probably 500 viruses. Let's be real here. The amount of viruses that this virus scanner finds is actually ridiculous. And I'm also going to turn this down a bit because this is extremely loud. Okay, so we need to run the virus scanner. So we're going to start scanning. Oh yeah, 408 files infected. That is, and imagine real life, imagine real life virus scanners taking 2 seconds to run for 400 files. I would love a virus scanner that did that. All right, so we cleaned the files, we removed the viruses, and we are ready to take care of it. When I install virus scanners and stuff like that for troubleshooting, both in the game and in real life, when I do stuff that needs requiring to install a program, more times than not, I remove it afterwards so that it's not just sitting on their computer. And the reason for that is that if they want the hard drive space, then they don't have that extra program that they're probably never going to use sitting on their computer. And they might not mind, but I can talk. I swear. From a professional or from a professional standpoint, it's very, very. It's very, very important to get rid of, your bloatware that you have on their computer, because you don't want them to think you're just trying to put hidden things on there. All right, so go to your email and hit collect. So we go to our email, and now where it says go to PC, now it says collect because we have finished the job. So hit that, we get $100, and we're now no longer in debt. Thanks, Uncle Tim. You've completed your first job. Well done. Come back tomorrow to see if there's any more jobs to do. Alright, cool. So we got 2 emails from our uncle here. Hello, I was building a PC earlier and forgot which power supply to buy to support the 3080 I just added. Is someone who was not used to buy my new cloud notes? What? Thanks, Uncle Tim. Have you been forgetting things? Need someone to know what you're working on? Whoa, I can talk. You can tell I'm very tired because I can't talk right now. You could try Cloud Notes. Actually, Uncle Tim makes a really good point, and I'm guilty for this too. In my other file, I don't use the Cloud Notes as much as I should, because every time a new day starts, or I leave until the next IRL day, if I quit the game and go back into it a few hours later, I'll literally forget what part goes to where that I've had taken out before. So it's really good to make sure you have notes on what part goes to what. It should be It should be with all your other apps ready to install. Hope it's helpful. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take care of that as well. So I can discard the viruses, by the way. You can get rid of that once you've finished it. article online about business principles and got me thinking, it's time I took Tim's red hot repairs back to its root. Top priority, I set up a website. The article said you're nobody if you're not on the web. Take a look when you've got a minute. I don't think I will. Alright, so you don't have to worry about this. This is all just random junk that he just sends you. But I am going to go ahead and install the Cloud Notes because that is going to be very, very useful when remembering, like who's, what part goes to which, basically. So now, with that being a thing, I'm going to go ahead and turn the computer off because I don't need it on at the moment. I got no more jobs. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the light off, saves on rent. Or not rent, but the electricity bill. The more you turn your light off and your computer off at the end of the day, the less your electricity bill is going to be when you have to pay that. So, now you got to end the day. You click the door, and it's going to advance you to tomorrow. So, we're going to go ahead and end the day. And we're gonna go to work because we never skip days. This is just how and it's more efficient that way. All right, so now light on, PC on, and we should now have a bunch more emails for jobs to do. Also, Cloud Notes. So like with the Cloud Notes, I can literally say, I could put somebody's name like John has the broken, i5 6700K or something like that. I can do something like that, and it'll basically just help you out to make sure you remember what part goes where. Otherwise, if you don't, you're gonna have a lot of trouble, with the game telling you, oh, inferior graphics card installed, inferior CPU installed, and stuff like that. It's like you want to make sure you're keeping up on, what part goes where, because otherwise you're gonna have to end up just, sacrificing a lot of money to buy just a really good part that is gonna be better than the last, if not the same. So let's go ahead and open our email, and we got a re-email for the virus scan. Just wanted to say thanks. Didn't realize your uncle had gone away. Looks like the business is in good hands, so thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. Broken graphics card. Alright. My graphics card fried itself, and I need it replaced with the same one, please. It's an NVIDIA GTX 970. Maybe one of those Sean ones. Or Sheen ones. Sheen. I can drop it around first thing tomorrow morning. I never understood what it said. It's not a name brand. It's an in-game brand. So, the Sheen GeForce 970 Gamer or better. So we have to now go to our shop, which will be indicated by the little red fan here. You click shop, and then you hit. He wants a graphics card, so you'll go to the graphics card setting, and he wants a 970 Gamer. So we have a little search text bar to make it easier for us, and I'm just going to type in 970, and you've got both of them right here. And I can either choose to get the better one or the cheaper one, and our budget is only $265, so that means the 280 one's out of the question. I don't know why I'm looking over here. You guys are over here. So you want to make sure you're also keeping a look at this budget right here, because if you go over budget, you're gonna get a bad rating. If you get a bad rating, your rating will, once you have the rating system, your rating will go down, and you won't have certain jobs open to you. So, we're going to go ahead and buy the 970 Gamer, the regular one, because that's what we have, the budget for. Now, don't worry about having $85, because at least, you'll be back in the negatives, but you'll be making more money back than what you're paying for the graphics card itself, because of the labor fee. Use the delivery option to choose what's best to receive your components. Alright, so more times than not, unless it's like, unless I figure out a problem the day that I need it done, because there are time-sensitive requests as well, and if it's like it needs to be done in the same day, and I don't know what the problem is until that day, that'll be the only rare time that I do same-day delivery, but for the most part, next-day delivery is nice and on the cheap end. It's not, it's pretty quick, and you don't have to worry about, the wait time. So let's do next day delivery. Hit buy now. We're in the negatives again, but that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and accept that. And we're gonna go ahead and wait for that to come in. The PC itself comes in the next day, so it'll arrive tomorrow along with the graphics card we just ordered. So we'll be able to install that. Now we got the ShermanDental.com. Could you have a look at my PC, please? It isn't running as well as it did when I first bought it, and I've probably not been taking the best care of it. Looks a bit dirty. Could you give it a once-over, please? So, what it sounds like to me is that this guy, if it's not running as fast, there could be some viruses on it, and they've also directly stated that it's a bit dirty. You also want to be making sure you look at context clues. If they say something like it's not running as fast as it used to, or something of the sort, or like, or something along the lines of, it looks a bit clogged or something like that, then you want to make sure that if you want a good rating, you want to make sure you want to take care of those little minor things that aren't as important and not required, but if you do them, it'll help you out in the long run because you'll get better ratings, which means you'll get better jobs and more money. I'll bring it around tonight, ready for you in the morning. Sounds great. So we got to clean out the dust and remove the viruses, as I've just stated. So let's go ahead and do that. We don't got to buy any parts for it. More space on the computer. So they want a more Tony Easy Store 500 gigabytes. So we're going to go ahead and buy one of those. We'll go to our storage section where the drives are. And it's going to be right here, the Easy Store 500 gigabyte. And we're going to do next day, like I said. We're going to accept that. And this is just the bank telling us that we are poor. Valued customer, here at Megacorp, we know that life doesn't always run smoothly, so we provide a free overdraft for all our customers. Your free overdraft limit is $1,000. Very generous. Alright, so now we need to go ahead and end the day off again because we have no jobs in the workplace at the moment. So I'm going to just close out of everything because we don't need these anymore. I'm going to shut the computer off. Turn the light off. That's still very loud. I'm going to just real quickly turn that down a bit because that is very flippin' loud. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn the light off. I don't know. I already did apparently. And we're going to go ahead and end the day. And we are now ready to start work on these guys' PCs. Customer's PCs is here. Pick it up with the right mouse button and take it to your workbench to fix it. Okay. So I'm going to go to work. Your new parts have arrived. Let's go. So now these are where the parts are going to be. We click these, we get the parts. We get the graphics card and the Easy Store 500. So we got 3 computers here. This one is the gigabyte, this one is the viruses and dust, and this one is the graphics card. Since we accepted the graphics card first, for no specific reason, I'm just going to go ahead and grab this one and work on it first. I'm going to turn the light on, turn the PC on, and while that's starting up, I'm just going to go ahead and start taking apart this this case here. I'm so not used to doing the screws because I have it on my other files where I don't have to worry about it. But you want to unscrew the screws by holding down on the where it's highlighted orange. So we got a broken graphics card here. To get to the graphics card, we got to take care of the PCI lock. We got to take that off so we can actually take it out. And then we can take the card out. And now we should have the brand new one in our inventory. So we're going to go ahead and install that. We're going to put our PCI lock right back in. We're going to lock it in place. And now what we need to do is we need to click the cable button and plug everything in. And we got to make sure that it can still boot to OS. Because you can't give a computer back to somebody unless you know for sure that it can boot into Omega. So now we're going to turn it on. Everything's fine because it's got the thing. We got an actual output. And we have ourselves a working computer again. So we're going to turn that off, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our side panels back on because we no longer need to have these. I don't actually know why I took the back panel off to begin with. I think I just normally do that when I'm building a computer in the first place, just so that I eliminate any problems of having to, like, have to take it off in the future. I just do it, I take everything major off so that I can get to everything all at once. Alright, so I don't know why I'm in the shop. We'll open the email up. We can go ahead and collect our broken graphics card payment. Notice how we got a lot more back than we paid for because of labor, obviously. And we are no longer poor. Well, I shouldn't say, no longer, because we still have little money, but it's fine. Alright, I'm going to discard that, and we're going to go ahead and take care of the dust and the viruses and stuff now. So we're going to go ahead and take this, put it over here. It is a very dusty PC indeed. And we're going to go ahead and go to our inventory. Once we actually, I'm going to open the case first because that's where you're going to get really clean the PC on the inside when the case is covering it. So we're going to go ahead and grab our compressed air, and we're going to go ahead and start blowing it out. And I'm going to speed this up because this takes a little bit of time, and it hurts my ears sometimes, so I don't want to hurt your guys' ears either. Alright, there we go. We cleaned out the dust, and now we just got to plug in our USB drive. And we gotta make sure that it posts. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I plug it in. This is where things get. I knew this was gonna start happening. Once I started a new file, I knew for a fact that I was gonna try and start powering it on without plugging it in first, because we gotta do that now before we can actually use it. Alright, let's go ahead and turn the computer on. We're going to go ahead and install our virus scanner again, like we did last time. And this is the same process. You install the virus scanner, you restart the computer because it's got to do its, whatever, installation process. I can talk. And once it restarts, it's going to have our desktop icon for our wonderful, very, very fast virus scanner. So we're going to go ahead and run it. And we seem to have only 296, not quite as much as 400, but it's still, that's crazy for 2 seconds. So let's go ahead and clean it up. We're going to go ahead and remove it. And once it's removed, we can go ahead and hit yes. I don't need to worry about restarting the computer because I already know it's going to be gone. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug in our wonderful PC case. Or not plug in, but we're going to screw in our wonderful PC side panel here, and we can now put it in our delivery area and collect that. Got ourselves a nice hefty $100. Wonderful. And now we need to install the hard drive, so let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna go ahead and unscrew our case. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't have to worry about that part, because I do believe with this Antec case that, yep, the drive is on the back side here, so we can go ahead and so you want me to install a 500 gigabyte, but do you not want this one anymore? I'm confused here. I need some more space. Could you install? Okay, so it's not looking like they want me to they don't want me to take their power or storage device. They just want me to install another one. So we're not going to worry about unplugging his other drive. We're just going to go ahead and plug in the new one here and leave the other drive in place. Which will be fine, because that also means we don't have to install a whole new OS in the long run. And it just saves us time that way anyway. So we're going to go ahead and close the drive bay. We're going to go ahead and reinstall our side panel. And this should be all set to boot. And I shouldn't have to worry about an OS, because technically there should have already been one on the 120 drive. Yep. And we are good to go. We can go ahead and place that in the delivery area and collect our payment, which is $330. That's great for only spending $50. That's awesome. All right, so we got some new parts. We got a 1050 Ti from Zotac. That's pretty cool. We got ourselves a bunch of Arctic freezers, which are really nice coolers, by the way. They're bulky, but they're pretty good. And we got 6th gen Intel Core processors. We got some faster RAM, and we have the ability to now buy the Auto Connect tool, which is not really. It's not useful at the beginning where you're still kind of learning. It's good to actually at least have it. And also it's $1,000, so you're not gonna buy it right off the bat anyway. You just have it unlocked so that you can actually buy it. But yeah, you got like these auto screw tools and auto standoff. This is all stuff that I have in my other file. That I don't necessarily, I highly recommend if you are of level and you have the money in your own game and file that you get these, because it's going to help you a lot in the long run. And it just makes things so much easier in life. So we're going to go ahead and shut down the computer again. We have no more jobs. It didn't look like I had any more jobs on the line, just a bunch of new part lists. So we're going to go ahead and end the day. We're going to go to work, and we're going to see what other kind of new jobs we got going on for us. I might also try and eventually, once I unlock solid-state drives, I'm going to end up installing one into my rig, because my rig boots up a lot faster with an SSD, which all of them technically do. But I'm that's the one thing I have in my current file that I really highly recommend. If you have your own rig, I highly recommend you get yourself an SSD, because it just makes the startup process and getting to your email a lot more faster that way. Alright, so the real Harry Osmond needs help. He needs to remove viruses. I need your help. I borrowed my mom's brand new PC and I clicked on something I shouldn't have. Now it's riddled with viruses. I need it done before she gets back from her friend's house. Hurry. Alright, cool. We will take that. Stuff for my daughter's PC. You want 16 gigs of RAM. What do you got? you have 2 gigs of RAM. So that's not going to do much. I can't really work with that 2 gig stick. So you know what I'm going to end up having to do? I'm going to go to memory. And I think the easier thing to do here is just buy 2 8 gig sticks. And then we'll just keep that 2 gig stick for ourselves or whatever we decide to do with it. Actually, technically, if I really wanted to, I could put it in another. I could put it in one of the third slots and just have the 4th one empty, which is stupid. But I can, technically do that. But I could also technically keep the 2 gig stick if I wanted to. I never tend to use used parts in people's rigs, even if I have them and they're working just fine. Reason because is that a lot of people will be like, I don't like used parts. I will give you a bad rating if you give me used parts. So I don't bother with used parts. I always buy new stuff for the customers. Hi, I'm not very good with computers, but mine isn't working properly. It's been getting very hot lately and running slower and slower. I don't think I can hear the fan anymore. It's looking like I've got to clean it out with an air can. It lives on the floor in my dusty office. Yep, there you go. I hope it's not all clogged up. It definitely is. If you do have to replace the fan, then please pick the cheapest one. I can't afford anything fancy. Alright, so it's looking like we gotta buy an air cooler, and I'm thinking a Mortoni Thermal 100, which is actually what they have here too. So you know what? We're gonna go ahead and buy a Mortoni. If you want to find the cheapest one quickly, I don't know why I'm still looking over here. You go to the sort by and you do price ascending, and it gives you the cheapest stuff right off the bat, which right here is the Mortoni Thermal 100. Gets the job done. Works in literally every build ever known to man. Like literally every single build here. You know, it's got different socket types that it supports. And now we're going to go to take care of it. We're going to buy it. We're going to accept it. And we should have everything in transit now. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the computer off, turn the light off, and we shall wait until the next day to fix these next PCs. And I think after this next day, I'm going to end the video off because I think I'm going to do it by weeks. Each week is going to be a new episode, I think is what's going to happen. I think that'll work the best that way. Alright, so we got ourselves our 16 gigabytes of RAM, got our air cooler, and you know what, let's take care of this one first because this is a very simple basic one. We just gotta remove viruses. So let's go and turn our computer on, light on. I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't have to take it apart, so I'm just gonna go ahead and plug the USB drive in. I'm gonna go ahead and plug the cables in, and we're gonna go ahead and install our virus scanner. And the cool thing about like this game is that when you make more and more money and you get higher levels and stuff, you can buy more workbenches. Like at level 3, you can buy a second workbench. You can have 2 different rigs you can work on at once, which is very, very recommended to do when you have the funds. Don't buy it as soon as you get the money chew because like you're not gonna have money to buy other stuff and you don't want to go into overdraft. When you do have the spare money lying around, it's a really good investment. You definitely want to have as many tables as you can because the more you play the game, the more emails you're gonna get for jobs, and you're gonna get up most to like 8 jobs in one day, and you're gonna have a lot on your plate basically. So having 3 work desks is gonna really help you out in the long run. Right now, it's not a big deal for me because I'm only getting 2 to 3 jobs a day. But that's definitely not going to be the case later on down the road. So we got 412 files infected. You, my friend, need to stop clicking on weird, sketchy websites. Alright, we're going to go ahead and remove the virus scanner. And then we're going to restart the computer. Well, we're not going to restart it. We're just going to hit yes, and then we're just going to take the computer and put it over there. And we should be able to collect the delivery now. Collect. Yep, we got 200 bucks. Let's go. Alright, this guy wants the 16 gigs. We're going to go ahead and take that. We're going to open up the PC because now we actually have to get into the PC. And we need to grab this stick here. We're going to open up the 2 side chips, the clips. Now I'm hungry for chips. And we're going to uninstall the 2 gig stick, and we're gonna put in the 2 8 gig sticks. So we're gonna put the one that we already had in there. I like to put them like closer to the other side, only because it gives the fan a little more breathing room. But it's fine if you know you put them right next to it. It's not going to make any difference in compatibility. You just want to make sure that when you're installing 2 different sticks of RAM, I'm looking over here again. What am I doing? You want to just make sure that when you're installing 2 gigs or 2 RAM sticks, that you make sure that they're in between. You have it in dual channel memory mode, which means don't put them directly in the sockets next to each other, because you've got 2 on the left, 2 on the right that are all one channel. If you put them 2 next to each other, you're not going to get the most out of your RAM. So you always want to make sure that you've got, you know, 1 skip, 2 or 2 skip, if you have 4 different RAM slots. If you've got a board with only 2 RAM slots, then that's fine. You can do that. That's fine. But if you have 4 RAM slots, you want to make sure that they're separated. All right. I need to now put the side panel, I'm very tired, back on. And we're going to go ahead and plug this thing in and make sure that we can boot it to OS. Because if you can't boot it to OS, it is just a sitting piece of brick. Alright, so our cables are all in. We're going to go ahead and boot up our PC. While that's booting up, I'm going to go ahead and check the emails to make sure we got no problems here. New parts, that's cool. We got a 560, that's pretty cool. That's a nice card. It's a nice budget card. So this guy wants me to clean out the dust, and he wants it done in 3 days, which is fine because cleaning out dust is only going to take, 5 seconds. So let's accept that. It'll come tomorrow. We'll take care of it. And this guy wants an upgrade. He wants 8 gigs of RAM. What does he have already? He's got a Team Group T-Force Dark 4GB 2400. So we're going to buy that same exact stick, and we're going to put it in as dual channel memory. That was 2400, right? Did I do that right? Yeah, okay, cool. So we're going to accept that. So he's got two different sticks of 4. And we got this guy who needs the air cooler, which is fine. We'll take care of that in a second here. So our PC booted up. We're all good to go. We're just going to go put it back in our hallway. We're going to collect our money. We got $300 for it. Let's go. And we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves our other PC. We're just going to go ahead and open the case up and do our air cleaning. I think I'm going to take the cooler out first because it's not like I'm going to have to worry about cleaning that anyway. And when you're replacing an air cooler or a CPU for that matter, or anything that regards taking the cooler off a CPU or CPU out, you always want to make sure, and this is what Uncle Tim always messes up, you want to make sure that before you put the new cooler on, you want to grab yourself your thermal paste and put that thermal paste on the CPU. If you don't, it's going to overheat. They're going to send you a bad review. They're going to be like, dude, like, it's overheating, it's crashing on me every 5 seconds. What did you do to my computer? So you want to make sure that the first thing you think about when taking off a cooler or a CPU is remembering to put thermal paste on afterwards. So now we're going to go ahead and take our compressed air. Once again, I'm going to probably just skip through this because this is going to take forever. And it's also very loud and annoying, so I'll see you guys in a few seconds here. Alright, there we go. We got our case all cleaned out and stuff. We're going to go ahead and put our side panel back on. And we're going to plug it in and just make sure that we can boot it up, no problem. Once I can figure out how to press the cable button. Alright, so let's plug this in. And I think the first thing I'm also going to do before it boots in is I'm actually going to go to the BIOS real quick by holding the F2 key. And we're going to make sure that our temps are fine. Yep, so we're at 28. If you see something like 70 to 80 degrees, or even 90 for that matter, if you see 90 or 80, you definitely forgot to put thermal paste in, or you've got like or you got an air cooler issue. If your air cooler isn't spinning, you're not getting the temperature that you need to be getting. If your CPU doesn't have thermal paste on, you're not getting the temperature that you need to be getting. If you got numbers like 20 to 30, or even 40 for that matter, for higher, voltage CPUs, you've got yourself a decent working computer. You don't have to worry about anything like that. So I just wanted to make sure that that was the case. I want to make sure that we had some good temps going, and that's how you can check to make sure if you forgot or not, your thermal paste. So we can boot into Windows. Omega. Wow, I'm amazing at this. I've been working on my own rig and another rig for a friend. I got a coworker across the street where I work, and and I just ended up putting together an older PC for him. I had an old DDR3 board in a case that I couldn't use for a new PC because the case is a Lenovo PC, so the case and the board go together. The actual form factor is MATX, but the cables to plug into the motherboard are different from like a regular DDR4 board, so you actually can't use the same cables, and it's not compatible, which sucks. So I ended up building that for him, and I ended up giving it to him, and he's happy with it. So now we need to think. That's actually, that's all the things. We got our another 560. We got some nice RAM going on. We got some other RAM. All right, cool. And then we got another 560. Wow, there's a lot of 560s on the market, aren't they? All right, cool. So we got these two in transit. We have no other jobs we got to worry about, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the PC off, turn the light off. We're going to end the day, and that is going to actually about wrap up the video for the week. So, let me know, guys, in the comments if you guys enjoy the series. I want to try and be as informative as possible with this one, not because... don't get me wrong, I know I have my fair share of knowledge about computers. My buddy Tom taught me a lot of what I know. Pretty much honestly everything I know, let's be real here. But in general, like, you should not take this game as an actual real life tutorial. There's a lot more goes into building a PC in real life than this game has to offer. Not to say this game isn't bad or isn't good. It is a very, very good game. I like it. I wouldn't be playing it if I didn't think it was good. But I'm being informative more towards, like the game's purposes, and I'll give some like comparisons here and there to like real life and stuff every now and then, but for the most part I'm trying to be as informative as possible, so that if you guys want to play this game yourself and you want to do things correctly and not be stumped on certain things, when you're diagnosing PCs, you want to make sure that you're kind of in the know for what you should be checking for certain different types of emails. But for now, I am gonna leave it here. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. I'd love it as a channel, guys. I've got a Discord. Come check me outside of YouTube. It's a fun time for all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. So guys, in my next one, goodbye.